Hey guys, welcome back to my second episode. And so, as you can see, I am at Ashton's area. I saw that he built this little grass or leaf hut. I could see it from my island over there, and I just saw the back of it, and I was like, "What in the world is this pile of greenery?" So I came over here, and I actually really like it. So it's not too complicated. It's just some leaves with vines hanging over the front, and I really like that look. It makes it seem like a little shelter out in the jungle. Really like that. You can see he's getting some cactus and some melons. He's starting a little farm over there. He's clearing this area out, getting some lights up. So he's getting ready to build. I'm not sure what exactly his plans are at the present moment. I know he's wanting a village for the long term. So I'm not sure if he's just heading straight into that, or if he's going to build some farms, or I don't know if he's got a cactus farm in mind. But yeah, I really like this little hut, and it's getting dark. Let me sleep. Alrighty, so I just slept, and now it's a new day. So I just wanted to show you guys this little hut because I thought it was pretty cool looking. I've never seen a design like this. Again, so simple but so cool looking, and it looks like you got some moss for the carpet. Really like this design. Really like it. But I'm going to talk about the game plan for this episode. I know last episode, just kind of rewatching it, there wasn't a whole bunch of coordination. It just seemed like I just slammed a whole bunch of stuff together. So I'm hoping that this episode's a little more congruent and flows a little more naturally. And so first I want to show off I got this pickaxe here, and it's Silky Smooth 3.5. Y'all saw in the first episode I made the first Silky Smooth and lost it, and I ended up creating a second one, and I died with the second one, and I couldn't remember if I made a third one or not whenever I made this one. So I wasn't sure if this was my third Silk Touch pickaxe or my fourth one. My gut tells me that this is my fourth one, but I want to tell myself that I haven't lost 3 pickaxes and that this is my fourth. But before I get into the plans for this episode, I wanted to show this. So I got some diamond armor, and I did not just go mining. I did a little bit of mining, but I got this from these guys. I forgot to show these guys last episode, but I have a toolsmith, and he's max upgrade, but I've been trading the iron ingots. So that's how I got the Silk Touch pickaxe in the first place, was trading with these guys. And then let me get the other guy. Sorry, it's so hard to get them when they're running around from. So here. So I got some emeralds, and I just got the basic diamond armor that these guys provide, because I kept dying in the mines. Y'all saw the skin, but I changed my skin. And so I'm going for kind of a gardener vibe. So I just looked up some basic stock Minecraft gardener images that you could put on your skin. So I went with this one. So just going for a simple gardener vibe. But I wanted to show that off before I put on the armor. But now we're fully kitted out. And it's not really because I had to do any crazy mining. It's just purely because villagers are way too strong, and I got armor from them. And I also have books ready for my fortune pickaxe, but I currently don't have enough XP for it. I believe it's about 18, 19. And so I'll probably rename it so it'll be 20 enchantment levels. But at the current moment, I cannot enchant that, but not too worried. It's okay. And you can also see that I've got some cats. So I'm just trying to recap everything that I've done between the 2 episodes. So I got my 3.5 Silk Touch pickaxe. I got some books. I got some diamond. Everything has pretty much been just in this general area. I haven't been able to get on for super long hardcore sessions. So I've just been doing little tedious things around my area here. I have this wall. I'll kind of dive into this later. But I did get one good mining session in, and so this is what I got in the one mining session. Lots of a good bit of iron, a little bit of diamond, a decent amount. So 35 is a decent amount. With the amount of time I spent, I felt like it should have been more, but not too shabby. I was just kind of surprised that my gold ore is pretty close to my diamond ore. Not very much lapis lazuli at all. And then my redstone wasn't even that. It was only double the redstone as it is diamonds. I don't know if that's the typical rate for diamonds versus redstone and gold and lapis lazuli, but it seemed like it wasn't that much relatively. And I really like the look of this. I plan on using this, especially since we're in the desert. These color tones kind of fade into mud and then fade into sandstone. I noticed that just putting the straight iron block right beside the sandstone doesn't seem to transition very well. I think it might be a texture thing. It just seems to clash. But I really like how this transitions into the mud, transitions into the sandstone. And so I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but this episode I want to build a wall around this little area. Sorry, not a wall. I'm going to build this up, and then the new level that I'm going to be working on is going to be about 4 to 5. I'll probably go up one more block, but about 5 blocks up. And so this that I'm standing on will be underground. And so that's hopefully to create a mob safe area. And I'm just tired of being in kind of a makeshift area. It feels like I don't have an actual setup right now. I just have chests laying around, a very small farm that I'm just collecting slowly but surely. And I'm getting a good bit of seeds and a good bit of wheat, which is going to be really nice with the new mud. So I got some glass bottles, and I don't know where my dirt is. I had dirt somewhere. I think I turned all my dirt into mud. But these are also all the blocks. So these are all the ores and stuff that I got while mining, and I got a couple or 3 golden apples. And then I also got these. So I found a geode. I didn't want to mine a whole bunch because I don't need any right now, any amethyst. So I figured I'd just get a stack and then get some buds. But a good bit of deep slate, some powered rails, a spore blossom, a big drip leaf. And so since this is my Silky Smooth 3.5, the last mining session that I had, I probably doubled the amount of ores that I currently have. And of course, I was mining ore, I was mining iron, and I was mining down. I mined down into a hole and immediately got killed by a skeleton and a zombie. And I wasn't recording, so I don't have that clip. But, I mean, you can just imagine having all this double. I had a lot of lapis lazuli, which I really like. I don't know what I can build with this, but I really like that dark look right here. The dark blue with the dark gray and the black contrast. Really like that look. So I was very disappointed to lose the lapis lazuli. Again, not sure what I would use that for, especially with this desert theme, with the kind of the yellow and tan and beige tones that's going on. But maybe in the future, I definitely want to use this deep slate lapis lazuli. So pretty bummed out that I lost that. But I think that's just about an update of what has happened between the last episodes. I got full diamond armor just from the villager. I got another pickaxe again, and I've just been slowly mining away, and a few cats. So maybe in a few episodes we'll get that creeper farm going. I don't have a need for it right now, as I don't plan on getting an elytra anytime soon. So we're just stocking up on cats, and I think that's a new one as well, but not that worried about it. And I was in a lush cave with the last mining session, and when I would dive back down into the cave, because after I died, I went back into that cave like 3 or 4 times. So when I would go back into the cave, the hole from the ocean floor into the cave just kept dropping tropical fish in. So it was an unintentional tropical fish farm. And I found out you can't actually tame cats. See, they don't even eat the tropical fish. So I'm not sure what's up with that. I guess that's intended. But you can't feed the tropical fish to cats. It's only the raw salmon and then the raw cod. I think they also do the cooked. But yeah, I can't use tropical fish. So what I'm planning on doing this episode, and there are boats laying around everywhere, but the plan for this episode like kind of how I talked about earlier, is building up this whole area about 4 or 5 blocks above the ocean here. And I think I want to clear out everything past this area on the island. So anything going this way, I'm gonna just clear out. I'm actually gonna go on a free cam right here. And so I don't like how big the island is. Since it's my little starter area, I don't want it to be too much to worry about. So the best thing I can think of is just to remove part of the area that is on the island and make it just as easy as possible to mob proof my entire area. And then also when it comes to decorating it and texturing it, it's less of a hassle to work with because I have less of an area to deal with. So I'm even this temple here, I'm probably going to get rid of. So I'll probably start about here and just come in and just carve a nice round back of this island. And so that is the spawn island. We may eventually build this up 4 or 5 blocks as well to match this island, and then maybe have a bridge going to and from my island to the spawn island. But as of now, I'm going to clear off this whole section, and the materials, the sand and the sandstone, are going to be very useful because all the buildings on this area, I plan on having them sandstone. I plan on having sandstone as the main building block, so it'll actually be perfect. So it's 2 in 1. One, I'm getting rid of the area that I don't need, and 2, the sand that I'm collecting and sandstone I'm collecting is going to go into building this area up. And so sadly, I'm also going to have to destroy this pier, but I'm going to build a bigger and even better pier that goes with this new wall, this new seawall. But don't you just love that iron block going with the mud? It reminds me of the seawall. So Galveston and Houston are the closest places to the ocean where I currently live. So Galveston has this granite seawall, and just seeing these blocks make me think of the granite seawalls. And I know I can use actual granite, like you can see it here, but this has kind of a pinkish tint, and I don't think it goes that well with the mud. But this kind of has a cobbly tint, a cobbly texture to it, while still giving this more beige and sandy color tones. So I'm thinking about even extending this out a little bit to add a little bit more depth and texture to the wall. So we'll put fences in the wall to give it some indentions on the inside, and then also have it come out a little bit here to make it look like there's these support blocks on the seawall. So really excited for that. I hope I have enough iron block ores for this, but with what we have here, and then with the fortune pickaxe I plan on making over there, I'm sure this will give me enough, at least for a start, for this seawall. But I'm going to go ahead and start this time lapse of gathering the materials / reducing the size of my island. So I will see y'all on the back end of that. Hey guys, I'm done with that, and that took a couple hours to get all cleared out, and you can see that it's all shallow, so it looks a little weird. I'll probably eventually go out and deepen this up a little bit so it doesn't look so unnatural. It's just a really shallow beach. But I just wanted to get all that sand out of the way, so minimizing the biome for the mob spawns. So minimizing the mob spawns there. But I really love the sound of this. Just listen. That sounds so nice. And I love breaking them too. Like, that's a little ASMR there. But I use those just to show the border of where we would be mining the sand out, and the purple really contrasts with the sand, so it's just an easy block to use, and I didn't have a use for these anyway, so I might as well just use them for that. And I have tons of sandstone. I have a full single chest here. I have a pretty big chest here as well. Not that one. Yeah, full chest of sandstone just about, with some stairs and sandstone slabs. More sand and sandstone here. I think that's all of it. So tons of sandstone, and y'all saw me destroying some of the iron ore, and so I got my fortune pickaxe here, and I used that to mine, I want to say, about a stack and 15 iron ores from in here. I think I had about 14 or yeah, I think 14 of the regular iron ore, and then about a full stack of the deep slate iron ore. So that got me 21 raw blocks of iron, which I really love the look of this. But I don't know if that's enough for texturing these walls. I may sprinkle them in, and like right here, it's only three pieces of iron ore blocks. So I don't know if 21 is enough for this side, and just sprinkling it in. But I'm going to go ahead and mine a good bit more. And then I'm gonna build up this platform area. I keep wanting to say wall because it looks like a wall right now, but this will be the edge of where our new building area is. So it's not really a wall. It's just the. I mean, it is a wall, but it's not a standalone wall. It'll have a platform right here going across. But I'm gonna need more iron ore, so I'm gonna do that, and then I am probably not going to show that. I'm just going to go ahead and skip straight into building the wall. And I think I need a little bit more granite, because I don't want, so say if I need to build the wall out right here, for instance, I don't want this just hanging over the water, because that doesn't look very well. But I don't want to use a ton of the iron ore blocks here. So I think for underwater, I'm going to use granite to bring it down to the base, and use that as kind of a foundational piece. And so since it's underwater, you get this blue tint, and it kind of masks the transition period, so it doesn't look that bad. I may texture in the ore blocks into the granite a little bit more, but I don't want it to go and just have a gap. I don't want these ore blocks hanging over nothing. Like, it looks really weird. For example, like here, like, just look at that. That does not look good. So I'm going to go mine some more granite just to have that transitional piece, and I might even put granite over all the sand, or I'll spot some sandy spots and some spotches of granite here and there, but definitely need more resources and more mud. But I'm just going to go ahead and bypass showing y'all getting all that, because that's very tedious, and I'll just time-lapse straight into building the wall. So I hope y'all enjoy, and I know I've done a couple time-lapses this session, so I don't want to take too much time with that, because I really want to show y'all the finished product. And I have a secret plan. I have a plan, because it's kind of weird. I have this iron farm here, and I'm building a platform over it, and I still need to access these villagers. So I have a plan to tie this iron farm into this new raised up platform that I'm creating, and it'll also tie into this pond. And so I'm really excited to show you guys, and I hope it turns out well, because right now it's just in my head, but I'm hoping it turns out well. So I hope y'all enjoy the time lapse, and I'll see you on the other side. Alrighty guys, I am all done with building this up. Now, as you can see, I don't have any texturing done yet. The only thing that's any sort of texture is at the very top I have this cut sandstone, and so that's just to kind of highlight the very top layer, and then I'll go and put the granite, the iron ore blocks, and then the mud at the bottom. But right now I just wanted to show y'all what it looked like with it being raised, and I really like it. I really like it. And I have this little staircase coming down right here, going up to the main platform. And I wanted to show you guys this. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I had extra amethyst and I had extra gold, and I wanted to use it. I was thinking of making it kind of look like a sun, or like a petal. Let me see if I can get a good view from up here. I haven't looked at it from the top view, but I wanted it to kind of have, it kind of has a native feel, I would say. But you have the yellow and then this red terracotta. It kind of looks like almost, what's the New Mexico flag? It makes me think of a New Mexico flag. I'm not sure what's on the New Mexico flag, but it makes me think of this. I'm gonna double check that, but it has some sort of Native American symbol here. But I was going for like these 4 petals, one extending out here, one out here, one out here, and then the staircase going down was quote unquote the 4th petal, and so maybe adding some color as it goes down. But it ended up kind of rounding off. It looked weird not having the slabs texturing it and indenting here. It kind of highlights it. It looked weird not having this indentation, but at the same time, by indenting it, it makes it more rounded and not quite look like 3 or 4 individual petals, or I don't even know what you would call this, like the quote unquote rays coming out of the sun. I'm not sure. It kind of rounded it off, but I think I'm gonna leave it for now. But I'm not. I don't know if I'll keep it. And at the bare minimum, I may make it a little bit smaller because it takes up a good portion of this platform. I'm gonna build some stuff over here, and then probably have a building over here and over here. So it might not get in the way, but it does take up a lot of space. So that this may be temporary. And I had some extra amethyst and gold, and I just put it along the edges here. I don't think I like this, but I do need to texture this some way or another, and I'm not quite sure how in terms of color variation. I'll go in and put some upside down stairs to put some indentions and some fences, just to give it some actual texturing and not really the color texturing. But in terms of the color, I'm not sure, and I might not even do that much color. I might just leave it all sandstone and just have some indentions, maybe some kind of wood like fences in these corners to give it a little bit of color variation. But as of now, it's very plain, and this is what used to be my little base area. It's now all under this, and so it's going to be my temporary base at the moment, but I do plan on not. I don't plan on using this underground area. This is just purely for the moment being. The buildings that I have may utilize this if they have a basement. So it'll come in handy that this platform is raised, because I won't have to dig down and mess with all this dropping sand if I end up doing a basement. But there will also be a pier here, because I told you guys that I had to destroy the other wooden pier that I had over here, and I wanted to do a bigger one anyways. So now this is going to drop down into another wooden pier, and then probably build a boat or two out here. So really excited for that, but I'm not going to be able to do that this episode. And I don't think I'm going to go out. I don't think I'm going to go to sea level. I think the wooden pier is probably going to be maybe this level, or I might do wooden slabs and go not right here. Sorry, it's hard hard being in the ocean and doing this, but I might do. Oh, goodness me. Let's do this. Okay. I might do this level, because I think it would be cool if you can kind of go under the pier. I mean, I don't think I ever would need to, but it just gives it that cool, like how an actual pier is. It's not right above the water like this, and it's not right on the water like this. Every pier I've seen that goes over a lake or a river or the ocean, it's always above the water a good bit. So I'm thinking about doing a pier like this and having it extend out. But as of now, I need to do some texturing, and actually before that I need to sleep. But I need to put that mud, that granite, and the iron ore blocks. I need to go ahead and put that along the baseline. I might stay away from this area just because there is going to be a pier here. Or no, I'll probably go ahead and texture it anyways. I'd rather overdo it than have the pier here and then trying to texture with a wooden pier here. And you can see that this is actually one of the modules for the iron farm, and so I think the villager's right about here, so it sticks out a little bit. So hoping that isn't too noticeable, I may go back and turn the cobblestone into sandstone. But yeah, I'm really pleased with just it's just the bare foundation. There's absolutely no texturing if you don't consider this little artwork here, but really like how it's coming along, and it just is it's going to be a wonderful canvas to work on, because that's all I'm doing really is just establishing a canvas that I can work off of. And so I can add all the textures, I can put buildings on, and I'm no longer working with the natural generation and just the way that, like, let me just show y'all. Like, this is actually a pretty nice natural generation in terms of how smooth the sand is. But then, like, that area, by building on that, you have to do so much terraforming to get a nice and smooth transition from where you're building into this mountain here. And so same thing with this platform. It was just kind of awkward with having the farm here and then having these sand hills here. So this platform is going to make it so much easier to build off of. And I actually put my camel out in the pond because it was in the way of where the wall was going to be. So I just went ahead and yoinked him over here. And there is a fence on the other side, so he's not just free roaming. And I do have plans for this pond as well, but that will be for another time. So I'm gonna go get all the mud and the granite. Actually, yeah, I do need granite. Never mind. I'm gonna get the mud, the granite, and the iron ore blocks, so we can go ahead and texture this. And I'm not going to time lapse that. I'm just going to show a beginning and end product. So actually what I'll do is I'm going to boat out here. And then there's a good view there. So this is what it looks like. And I am going to leave the boat here. So whenever I'm done texturing, I'll come right back to the boat and y'all will get an exact same view, but after it is textured. So I'll see y'all on the other side. Hey guys, and we are back. And so here you can see that my wall is now completely textured. I've put a little glow like in, some trapdoors, and then some lanterns. I know that that wasn't part of the original palette, but the wall just seemed pretty flat. So I used some stairs and I used some fences to give it some just contrast in the depth, but it still seemed a little flat. So I added some trapdoors, and the jungle trapdoors went really nice with the color scheme down at the base with the granite and then the mud blocks and then the iron ore blocks, and then the bamboo went pretty well with the sandstone. It's a little bit more greenish yellow and just like a more direct yellow than the sandstone. But I think it does well enough, and it gives it a little bit of texture. And I might not quite be at the exact spot with my boat from where I was earlier, so I'm sorry if the transition isn't super smooth. So I actually already recorded looking at this and walking through this, but the audio was messed up. So this is my second run through, and I tried to get the boat as close as possible to the original spot, but I really like how this came out. And so I also have the sea pickles down here for the lighting, and then the granite. I like how the granite came out, just slapping granite down everywhere, and it even covered up this little area from the iron farm where the zombie is in this boat. So now I don't have this. It almost looked like a little hut underwater where it was extending out. So that looks really nice. Does he have a puffer fish? He's got a puffer fish. That's crazy. But really like how this turned out. And then I did the exact same thing on the other side. So I'm going to go and boat over. I'm actually just going to hop over here. But you can tell that I used this jungle wood here. And so it's to make it look like the wall has some more additional support holding up all the sandstone, all the granite and all the blocks that are supporting this. So you have these jungle blocks supporting them, and then you have the granite at the base as the base foundation. And this side isn't as deep as the other side, so the granite doesn't go as far down. But I kind of like how this looks. And I think it goes really well with this color palette, because if you put granite right beside these blocks, it looks really pink, but the way that the water just adds a hue of blue to all the blocks, it makes the granite fade into it pretty well. You don't really notice the color difference. But I really like it. And I did have a couple lanterns in each little section here, but I noticed that it was way too bright. Whenever nighttime would come, it didn't feel like an actual city. It felt like an old city, like a kind of like a medieval. I guess not medieval. This doesn't really have a medieval feel, but just kind of like an old school city. It felt like a modern city where just extremely bright, and so I didn't like that. I wanted it to be dark but have enough light to where it doesn't look like it's an abandoned city. So I just went with one lantern per section, and then the glow lichen. And I think the glow lichen also helps with the transition between the color of the sandstone and the color of the mud and the iron ore blocks, because the color doesn't fade too well together. And so I'm hoping the glow lichen kind of helps that out. But I'm giving myself some grace here because I'm not too experienced with trying to texture stuff like this, so I'm just sticking with this and I'm going to run with it, and hopefully as I do more builds it gets better and better. But yeah, I really like how this turned out, and I think this is going to be the end of my episode because this took a lot of work. I had cleared out the whole back of that island and then built this whole section up and textured it. So I think I'm done, and we can get to building this pier, maybe building some other buildings up here in the next few episodes. But for this episode, I am calling it quits. So I'm going to end off with a little clip of this at night because I really like how this looks at night. So I'll end off on that. Yeah.